Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? We're back, guys. Oh my God, I feel like I'm working too hard today. But we're back. We're back. We're back. Hey, Rose. What's up, Rose? I see you back, Rose. Thank you for being here. Woo. Had to get me a drink. Give me something to drink, not a drink. All right, let's get into our show. I see everybody get ready to be coming in. As you guys can see on my description, what we're going to be talking about. What's up, BJ? Hey, thanks for being here. We got a breakdown of the Naziyah case. We're talking about some Shannon Harris, honey, who was that aunt who I keep saying need to be in jail. What's up, JDC Creations? We're gonna be, of course, talking about Jarvis Butts because he's behind all the bullshit. Annette Harris, which is the grandmother. We're gonna look at some testimonies. We're gonna listen to some family come forward and talk about some things of the damn things with this damn Naziyah case. Lord, let's get into some stuff, y'all. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I got all I need. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, Lord, they be steady sending me more stuff. Oh. Okay. All right, yeah, I think I got it. Okay. Everything said in the video is alleged and, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay. I think that's it. All right, let's get started. Let me put it back up. All right. So as you guys can see, we're going to be talking about the Naziyah case. It says, yeah, caught another live. Yeah, you are here. Thank you all for being here. Okay. It says, real, did you see King say that he didn't see him in the courtroom? Yeah, I did. The grandmother tried to pull that mess too, but they own it, child. I think the more we talk about this and bring awareness is going to help push all this stuff where it needs to go. All right. So we're going to get into it. I told you guys I found another case which is so eerily similar to Naziyah's case, you guys. The little girl's name is Janiyah. And the little girl we're going to be talking about today is called Naziyah. Okay. So Janiyah is a 13-year-old who was also pregnant and is missing in the Gary, Indiana area. I'm going to spend a block on her, but I want to focus on Naziyah from Detroit, Michigan, who is missing by way of a pedo who she came to know from her aunt, Shannon, who was dating said pedo, who she knew was a pedo because he told her in the beginning that he was a pedo, and she kept him around. She lied on the stand and said he wasn't around. The grandmother said he wasn't around, never in the house. We've heard family members say that that's all cap. But we're going to continue. We're going to get more info out there. Hopefully this video is not too long, but because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, I got a lot of tea to put out there as well. All right, so Jarvis Butts, you guys know who he is. Of course, I told y'all he was attacked in prison. So I just found out the update is he was attacked late December of 2024. Of course, the reason why he's wearing that mask every time we see him in court, you guys, his face is bruised. They said his mouth was busted real bad. And of course, y'all knew when you saw him coming in limping like that child, he done got up in there, but they beat the brakes off his ass. And that's why he's wearing that mask, to cover up the bruising that's on his face, because he didn't want to be in court with his face looking all, fucked up. So that's why I kept saying, why don't they make him take that damn mask off? Everybody else sitting there with no damn mask on. Why the hell he got on a mask and he's trying to cover up his damn face? Well, that's why, because they're saying his shit is busted up under that damn mask. So he got the mask like all the way up to like his eyes damn near. He just like peeping like this under the mask. That's why. Okay, so that's why he's fucked up under there. Okay, so Naziyah, of course, we know went missing January 9th, 2024. This past January of this year made a year, you guys, since this shit happened, okay, after being seen getting off the bus. Jarvis, of course, was not arrested until April of 2024, all right, months later, which is so fucking crazy. But he was arrested on unrelated charges with other kids in the same, almost similar situation as Naziyah, minus them being pregnant. And he, of course, had unregistered weapons in his vehicle, which he was not supposed to have. He had to go to court for that. All right, now, fast forward September 2024, while Jarvis was already in custody, like I said, he was then charged for Naziyah's unaliving. So it's seeming like they've been moving kind of slow in getting this known pedo who was already recently registered as an offender in the system already, and rumors had already been going around about he was doing this. CPS had already been to the house, all kinds of things. Everything led to that being done. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get some videos and stuff up that I've been pulling, because I want you guys to be very, very up on what's going on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and read in terms of the developments of this case. And I wanted to pull it from a very reputable site so we'll know what the hell is going on, dates, time, all of this other stuff. All right. All right, so it's coming up. You guys give it a second, because y'all know StreamYard has a little latency. All right. All right, it's up. So it says today, Jarvis Ramon Butts, aka Jarvis Ramon Butts, who's 41 years old. Detroit has been charged with the homicide of Naziyah Harris, who was 13 years old, also of Detroit, at the time of her disappearance on January 9th of 2024. The body of Naziyah has not been found. Okay. Now, the Detroit Police Department conducted a comprehensive investigation, which included witness statements, surveillance video, numerous documents, phone extractions, police reports, and medical records. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office reviewed 111 gigabytes of video, 506 gigabytes of phone extractions, and 19 gigabytes of documents. Now, the overwhelming evidence in this case leads to the tragic conclusion that Naziyah was unalived by defendant Jarvis Butts. Okay, this is what the courts are saying. This document is being read from, as you guys can see, Wayne County, Michigan. This is from the prosecutor's office that I'm reading from. So it's not some off website. This is straight from the prosecutor's office. Now, the summary of the case says that on January the 9th of 2024, Naziyah went missing. She was reported missing on the day by Annette Harris, which is her grandmother, who is her biological grandmother, like I said, when she did not come home from school. It said that she had never gone missing from school before. The Detroit Public Schools Police Department investigated the case until early February of 2024. Now, when it was turned over to the Detroit Police Department's Missing Persons and Homicide Unit. Okay. Now, events of January the 9th of 2024 in terms of their account. It says that Naziyah took the school bus to school. Later, they said that she had her hair in a 2 braided puff balls, clear frame glasses, a white sweater with a black jacket over it, a colorful Rugrats puffy jacket with a fur-lined hood with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. There is no video of Naziyah getting on the bus. It says that Naziyah used a DPS issued tablet that she used to communicate and communicated with an app. It said that she took one last picture of herself on the tablet, and then there was a picture that they showed. It says using her tablet, she sent a message to device associated with Butts, indicating that they would be meeting up after she got out of school that day. So that was on a school device, which you guys know they do track and or monitor what is done on those devices because children have those. Okay. It says that there is video of her getting out of school at the end of the day in the same clothes. Says she meets up with Butts and a co-worker, which we know to be King, and goes back to their auto repair shop on Connor in Detroit. It says that Naziyah is seen by Butts' sister at the shop. It says that Butts, the co-worker, and Naziyah were together in the co-worker's car when they went to whatever that is, Yaplonsi, whatever that is, and then returned to the shop on Connor. It says that Butt's phone places him at the scene's location. It says that at 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m., Butts checked into a motel. Says that there is a receipt confirming that this is well, confirming this as well as his phone placing him at that location. Now, Naziyah is never seen again after January 9th of 2024. It says that more complete facts and evidence in this case will be introduced on the record in court. So that'll be in the case when that comes up, and that is said to be March the 7th, unless they move that date. Now, Butt's inappropriate relationship with Naziyah prior to January the 9th is spelled out here. The DPD investigation revealed that Jarvis Butts was well known to Naziyah because he is the father of children with Naziyah's biological aunt, which we know to be Shannon. It is alleged that Butts then sent Naziyah multiple texts of a sexually explicit nature beginning in September of 2022. Now, in return, she sent him sexually explicit photographs of herself. It says that it is alleged that in September of 2023 that she texted Butts that she has not had her period. And in November of 2023, the evidence showed that Butts knows that she is pregnant. Now, they said in his phone records show that he searches online about getting an AB, which we know to be abortions. We'll say it that way. Abortions. We'll say it that way. Now, abortions pills and drinking red antifreeze. Okay, so he's trying to get rid of this damn baby to cover his tracks. It goes on to say that on January the 10th of 2024, it is alleged that Butts was in Rouge River area in Detroit. The clothing Naziyah's was last seen wearing was found in the same area. More complete facts, of course, y'all know will be read in court. All right. They said, oh, that's why he was having a hard time sitting down. Yeah, they told him up. And they said that he was caught having sex with a male inmate as well in jail too, I saw. Yeah, they said Jarvis Butts was seen caught having sex with another inmate in jail too. So, child, I guess he can't get it on the outside. He getting it on the inside. Now, facts supporting that Naziyah is deceased. All right, this is what they're saying. Allegedly. Naziyah's school records show no previous record of unexcused or unexplained absences, meaning she came to school all the time. It also says that she was active on social media before January 9th, and there is no new activity after January 9th of 2024. All right, she has had no contact with any family or friends since January of 2024. She did not have any medical issues that would cause a life-threatening or medical emergency. It says that an area known to Butts near the Rouge River around 7 Mile and Berg Road in Detroit was searched by DPD and Michigan State Police. It says that the FBI, the U.S. Marshal, and other law enforcement agencies. It says that as a result, clothing was found and identified that is consistent with the clothing Naziyah was wearing on the day she went missing. It says that there was damage to a piece of found clothing that could indicate a struggle. It goes on to say that more complete facts of evidence, as you guys know, will be talked about in court. Charges for Jarvis Ramon Butts. Now, I'm going through all of this, so as we start talking about other stuff, you'll know all of this beforehand. These are real facts about this case, about everything you need to know. All right, so charges for Jarvis Butts. It said that Butts has been charged with first-degree premeditated unaliving. Maximum penalty is life in prison without parole. Child sexually abusive activity, which is the maximum penalty of 20 years. And criminal sexual conduct, second degree, persons under 13, defendants 17 or older, maximum penalty is 15 years. Woo! That means never getting out. Shit. On top of the fact that he was charged, that he was found to have unregistered guns, pow-pows that he was not supposed to have because he is a offender, okay? So he got to face that as well. So he got two charges. So statement of Prosecutor Kim Worthy said that the evidence in this case will clearly show that the defendant's alleged actions were beyond predatory, that they are vulturous. He groomed and preyed upon Naziyah with expertise, that we will prove that he unalived young Naziyah after he found out that she was pregnant at 13 with his child, according to Kim Worthy, which is the prosecutor in this case. Now, the arraignment information said that defendant Butts was remanded to jail. The next probable cause conference was on October 4th of 2024, and the preliminary examination was on October the 10th of 2024 before Judge Aaliyah Sabri. Okay, so it says that please request a photograph of the defendant from the deport. We don't need to know that. All right, so we see that, we hear that. That's everything that's going on with the case. Let's continue. All right. We know that, we know that, we know that. All right, so let's get into these text messages that were between the two of them, because the grandmother and the aunt also testified that Naziyah did not have a cell phone. She had to have a phone because she was texting. She was texting Jarvis. She sure was. Maybe she had a phone that they didn't know about. All right. Disturbing text messages sent to Detroit teen Naziyah Harris before she went missing. That's Jarvis. He's beat up under there. That's why he got the mask on, child. Guess he didn't want to be looking like Predator up in there. All right. Text messages between Jarvis Butts and Naziyah Harris were read in court on Thursday. Butts faces multiple felonies in the unaliving of Harris, who went to J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy. Said a student who went missing on January. While her body has not been recovered, police said that there is an overwhelming, why I can't talk, amount of evidence that Butts unalived Harris, which is Naziyah. We don't need to look at that because we read it. That's Naziyah. Those are the clear glasses they were referring to, which were found in Jarvis Butts' other baby mama's car. The one with the short haircut, and I stand corrected, that was not Shannon, but the one with the short haircut that we saw do testimony, who acted like she had other places to be, versus sitting there and answering questions about this missing teen who was in her car because of Jarvis. These are the glasses that were found that her son was playing with, Now, it says that authorities believe that Butts had been sexually abusing Harris since 2022. Before unaliving her in January of 2024, prosecutors said that he had a history of targeting and befriending women to get close to and sexually abuse their daughters. Now, they said that it is not the only sexual abuse case that Butts is involved with. He also had been charged for reportedly sexually abusing two other young girls, as well as a conviction for sexual assault in 2005. So he's a repeated offender. Now, prosecutors call Butts a serial child R-worder who sexually assaulted an 8-year-old family member and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter, who reportedly caught chlamydia from the assault. Y'all hear this shit? He was charged on September 27th of 2024 as a habitual fourth-time offender. Butts and Harris, had reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousins, which is Shannon's 5 kids. Now, it said that the abuse of Harris allegedly began in 2022 with sexually explicit texts and photos being sent to the child. Y'all hear this? Sent to her. Y'all already know what that has to be. He was probably sending body parts and y'all know. All right, stuff she should not have been seeing at her age. All right, now he was tracked to the Rouge River in Detroit the day that of her disappearance, where police would later recover her clothes, which we know about that. Let's go down. We know about the charges. All right, so court reveals explicit text messages Butts sent Harris. Sergeant Shannon Jones, the officer in charge of the investigation of Harris' disappearance, had a copy of all of the text messages exchanged between Butts and Harris dating back from 2022. She read the messages prosecutors highlighted for her to read aloud in the preliminary hearing on January the 9th. We're going to read them here, and they're dated. The text messages revealed that Butts was allegedly sending sexually explicit messages and asked for her nude photos. It says that the messages suggested there were more conversations like these previously. The text messages later in 2023 revealed that Harris claims that she was pregnant and talked about having trouble in school due to her baby. So she was a little further along. It's said that she might have been almost 4 going into 5 months pregnant. Okay. All right, so here's the timeline. Here's the messages. The following text messages were translated and spelled the way Jones specified or said when testifying in court on Thursday. Now, September 27th of 2022. When we say Harris, we're talking about Janiyah. When we say Butts, we're talking about Jarvis, the predator. All right, so let's go. Harris says to Jarvis, says, "Come on, you okay? Where are we doing it at? Your choice." Okay, where are we doing it at? Meaning this is extra. They're trying to figure out the location where they're going to do this. Butts says to Naziyah, "You tell me." Harris, which is Naziyah, says, "In the basement." Okay, now a place where grandmama and Shannon, who lives in said house, said that he never ever stepped foot. He's never been in the house, according to them. Text messages here prove that they are. So Harris, which is Naziyah, says, "You sure?" Harris also goes on to say, "or at the job," meaning the shop. So now we have put together that SEX is being had at the shop where Jarvis worked. The same place where text messages were sent to Shannon to say, "Send our oldest daughter and Naziyah to the shop to clean." I feel like "send them to the shop to clean" was code word for send them, for SEX. You can't say that in text messages or, however. So I feel like there were code words that were spoken between them in terms of sending the kids. Let's get back to the messages. So Harris says, "or at the job," meaning at the shop. Butts then says to Naziyah, "Can you suck my D, please?" Butts, who is, y'all know, the predator, says, "And make sure you erase the messages," meaning this shit is wrong. So let's do this. Erase the messages so I don't get caught. Harris then says, "Okay." Says that that's what I plan to do. All right, this is a child now, mind you. June 5th of 2022, Butts says, "I'm at your house." Naziyah says, "Damn, we were just there." Harris then says that you bet not be in my room. Naziyah also says to him, "I need another phone." Harris then says to him, "I miss you." So Butts then says to Naziyah, "I stole your panties." Let me put on my trigger warning, y'all. I'm sorry. Shit. Look at me. I'm sorry. We got to put that up, honey. Trigger warning, because this shit here. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Okay, it's about to get real grimy. I'm sorry. I don't want to trigger nobody, baby. I don't want to trigger nobody. All right. So June 24th of 2023, Butts says, "Send me some pictures, please." We know what kind of pictures he's referring to. Harris then says, "Don't you still got the other pictures?" Which then confirms that other pictures were sent to Jarvis, explicit pictures. Jarvis says no, which is Butts, okay? Harris, which is Naziyah, says, "I will send some." So he deleted those other ones to cover his tracks. So he's asking for more. She sends them. June of 27th of 2023 says, Butts says, "Are you naked yet?" Harris says, "No, I don't want to get naked." Harris goes on to say that, "Are you mad that I didn't get naked?" Butts then says that I'm used to you telling me no. So it gives here in this little conversation that something transpired between them because she chose not to be completely in her birthday suit. So they did what they did. So she's responding maybe after he left to ask him. Maybe he had an attitude after the fact. Maybe she, I don't know. Here is as she's asking him via text message, or she could have asked him that if he was there, but she chose to do text message, which means he was not there. "Are you mad that I did not be nude?" He says, "I'm used to you telling me no." Harris then comes back and says that, "Come on, bae." She's calling him bae. "I'm sorry, just not in the mood right now. I'm sorry." Okay. This is a child. September 26th of 2023, Harris says, "Bae, you up?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, because he did not answer. Harris again says, "Yeah." Not sure what that was because he didn't say anything, but she's responding. I feel like some messages may have been deleted because the conversation is not following the way it should. Harris then says that my period haven't came at all. Harris also says that, "Hello, are you there?" because he did not respond. Butts then says, "What you mean?" Naziyah then says, "It have not came." Jarvis, which is Butts, says, "Since when?" Harris says, "Since I was in the hospital." Butts then says that was last month. So he's trying to get a timeline of when her period didn't come on and how far along she could be so that he could start putting his plan into action. Harris then says, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I have to go to the doctor's tomorrow. Butts then says, you said you took a pregnancy test and it was negative. Harris, which is Naziyah, says, I did. Or it did, rather. Butts then says, so get another one. Harris says, I can't. I don't have no money. Harris also says that you go get one. All right. Harris then goes on to say, says you go get one. Harris also says that you ain't scared to get the plan B. Says to get a pregnancy test and bring it later today, and just act like you have to use the bathroom. So she's trying to give him a reason to come into the house so that he can sneak and give her this pregnancy test for her to take to find out if she is indeed pregnant. Now, mind you, she's saying right here, tell them, meaning Grandma and Shannon, you got to use the bathroom. And when you see me, just pass me this test. I'm going to run, take it, and we're going to find out what's going on. So this shows, once again, this places him in the house that they said he was not in. They said, who is Harris? Harris is Naziyah. For those of you that's watching, that's coming in, Harris, when I'm reading the messages from Harris, it is the young 13-year-old girl, Naziyah. Butts is Jarvis Butts, who is the one who they're saying unalived her, okay? For those of you just coming in. So after she says to him, you scared to get the plan B, get a pregnancy test and bring it later today so that, and act like you have to use the restroom or the bathroom. All right, Harris says, please. So she's begging him. She then says again to him, will you do it? Question mark, question mark, question mark. He says nothing. So she comes back with, hello, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Butts then says, okay, meaning I'll do it. So he's pissed, obviously, that she's pregnant. He's in his feelings. Obviously, his mind is probably going 1,000 miles a minute. What the fuck am I going to do? This 13-year-old girl is pregnant. I'm about to be locked the fuck up again. How do I fix this situation? That's why he's not responding right back to her as she's responding to him, because he's fucked up right now. All right. Now, November the 27th of 2023, Naziyah says to him, I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. Maybe he had started not texting her or being around her as much, knowing the situation. So he's been kind of maybe pushing back from being around her because she's saying, I miss you. I don't want to lose you. So Harris then says that, can we talk later? Yes or no? It gives it. He didn't say anything. She hits back again. I don't want your problem. But she's probably saying, I don't know what's your problem, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. Says it's hard doing all of this gym shit with this baby, and if I don't do them, I'm going to get an F. So of course she was asking for the plan B and all this other stuff so that she can get rid of this baby, because by now things are starting to get heavy for her. She's pregnant. She's small in stature. She's carrying around this extra weight. She's having to perform in school, and it's becoming hard. As you guys can see here, she's more concerned about getting an F in gym and trying to get rid of this damn baby, because obviously at 13, she doesn't want a baby. And neither does Jarvis, not with her. January the 9th, the messages continue of 2024 rather, says that this is the final text exchange between Butts, which is Jarvis, and Harris, which is Naziyah, before she went missing. Says Harris says, which is Naziyah, don't forget, be there before 3. Says, I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. Harris also hits Butts, which is Jarvis, back to says, send okay if you see the message so I can delete your number. Okay, so that's why I said before when we were reading, some of the conversation did not seem like it made sense, because Jarvis was deleting stuff and Naziyah was deleting stuff as well. But let's continue. So she's telling him, say, type back okay if you saw what I just sent you. Jarvis types back okay in capital letters. Okay. So she's asking him to help get rid of this baby. That's what she's asking. And that's what was on his mind, of course, when she became missing. She got off the bus, from what we know. She got off the bus and she was supposed to meet him. According to what King says, is that they picked her up and she went back to the shop with them, and she's not been seen since. Yeah, this shit is fucking crazy. So I hope I didn't trigger nobody with these damn messages, but that is what was said between Jarvis and Naziyah. Okay, so Okay, so here we're going to watch where Shannon's reaction after finding out about Naziyah and Jarvis, what she said to Jarvis when she texted him, because she said that she did not know Naziyah was pregnant or messing with Jarvis, but these text messages are red flags and they show and are proof that Shannon reached out to Jarvis via text message and cussed him the fuck out for finding out there was an interaction between Naziyah and Jarvis. Let's go ahead and watch that. Share. Oh yeah, she cussed him all the way out. All right, let's turn that on. All right, and here we go.
Oh yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tada said, "Do you still need her?" Too.
Okay. And do you know what is that referring to?
It was Tada had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is to be honest, these messages are seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon. I mean it. The next message is I don't know what to say or to its own. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says this for life. Nigga, I thought about it. And you can pass it.
Now hear that?
And don't call me. No need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
And so on January 9th...
Play it one more time. We're going to play it one more time. Okay.
Naziyah for anything.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tada said, "Do you still need her?" Too.
Okay. And do you know what is that referring to?
It was Tada had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is to be honest, these messages are seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon. I mean it. The next message is I don't know what to say or to its own. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says this for life. Nigga, I thought about it. And you can pass it. And don't call me. No need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
And so in January 9th...
Y'all hear that? So that says she already knew that there was an inappropriate interaction going on between Jarvis, which is her baby daddy, which is a pedo who's not supposed to have been around Naziyah in the first damn place. Those messages show when she texted him back to cuss him out about the messages she saw of the interaction that Naziyah forgot to erase or of explicit pictures and inappropriate conversations, and him responding back to her, asking her to send him nude pictures and asking, you know, hey, where you want to do this at? When she saw those messages, she was pissed. She was mad because she reached out to him to cuss him out and let him know that she knew what was being said and what was going on between him and Naziyah, because that's why she told him, motherfucker, don't worry about messaging me no more. It's over. Like, you can pass it, meaning you can leave me the fuck alone. I ain't fooling with you no more. He got scared probably and said, oh shit, this bitch about to report me. So he began buttering her up and getting back into her good graces because she's slow as hell. She's, I think, very, very slow. We knew she was slow when he came to her and told her in the beginning when he met her that he was a pedo, and she was like, I don't care. And they began dating, and you pushed out 5 of his children, 5 other victims for him to come over and touch and do things he should not be doing, because her oldest daughter was going to the shop to clean with Naziyah. Now, if y'all saw the video I showed y'all in the shop where the girl broke into the shop, there was a makeshift bed back there, like a cot, which is where all of this mess was going down in the shop. So I blame the grandmother and I blame Shannon, because I already said I feel like the words "come clean" was a code word for send the girls over so they can be violated. All right. You ain't fooling nobody, baby. You know this man is a pedo. He cannot be around children. You heard about all of his previous offenses. You knew that he was on the registered list and was supposed to register again, and his ass did not. He registered in another state. He did not register in Detroit because he did some shit to somebody else's kids, and you knew that shit, and you had him around your babies, and you also was sending Naziyah. Now, Naziyah was asking, can she go over there for the purposes of sleeping with him, and you knew about it, and you sent your daughter as well. You nasty bitch. Anyway, all right, so Jarvis Butts, as I told you guys, preyed on fat women. Let's call them fat. Plump women, out of shape women with low self-esteem, like Shannon was when he met her, who had kids or who could have kids for him, and used his looks to get use his looks as, you know, to his advantage to get these women. Shannon thought he was fine as hell when she met him. That's why she gave him a chance and did not think anything about what he had been charged with. He was dangerous, but so was she, because we've already talked about Shannon being a pedo herself, where one of her cousins, Sierra, have come out to say, hey, they made a game up when I was a young girl. She and her twin sister, Makita, is that sister's name? Well, I'm gonna say the twin sister because I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but the twin sister to Shannon would play a game with their niece Sierra and was inappropriately touching her as well, according to Sierra. So not only was I think they loved to bomb each other, and they bonded by a dysfunctional situation that the two of them experienced. Shannon was violated as a child by her father, Charles. Okay. Yes, she was. And Jarvis was also violated when he was younger as well, around 11 and 12. And I'm about to get into that. I'm about to tell y'all some shit that I found out. Now, a lot of people ask, what happened to Jarvis? How did he become such a predator who's running around doing all this shit to children? Now, from what I found out, Jarvis, at the age of 13, had his first child with an adult woman who was well into her 20s. So she actually violated Jarvis. And I told you guys, Jarvis was raised by his aunt, the light-skinned lady who testified on the stand, who actually was the only person that got up there and showed any emotions about Naziyah not being here anymore. She cried. It was very sincere. You can tell she was broken up about that because she saw that little girl. She was one of the last people to see Naziyah before she went missing. She was getting in and out of the white Escalade. She went into the store to get something, and Jarvis's sister went into the store behind her, I think to use the bathroom or something. But she did testify on the stand that she did see Naziyah. She broke down crying because she knew something bad happened to that girl. Jarvis was molested by a grown woman well into her 20s when he was like 11 or so, and he had his first child by this 20-something-year-old woman at age 13. Okay. So he started having kids very, very early. His sister, like I said, she's the one who raised him. Not sure where his mother was. I think their parents died early or something like that. But Shannon was mad because Jarvis, which is Butts, okay, preferred Naziyah over her. If y'all notice, Shannon has since, and I follow her now. I probably shouldn't say that. But she has now gotten into the gym. She doesn't look the same way in terms of the pictures that we showed y'all. This real big girl. She doesn't look the same now. She's lost some weight. And I feel like she was doing that because she needed to compete. I feel that she was competing with Naziyah. When he would call to ask for Naziyah, which they said was a lot, he would call and ask her to come to the shop to clean. Shannon knew what that meant in terms of come to clean. So she also sent her daughter as well to offer her up to Jarvis, which is his biological daughter, to clean. So with him wanting and desiring Naziyah more over her, she became jealous. She knew they were sleeping together, and she accepted it in order to keep Jarvis. She wanted to be the main chick. I told you guys in this situation, Shannon wanted to be the main chick in this situation, and they played this girl like a fucking fiddle. They used her and they played her. All right. She was also offered, like I said, offered her own daughter for this bullshit I'm hearing as well. Like I said, clean the shop was definitely code for Naziyah and her daughter being violated. Now, the grandma and Shannon knew the code as well, because Shannon testified on the stand that she would ask her mother, Annette, if Jarvis could have Naziyah come to the shop to clean. What little girl wants to clean at a fucking shop? A teenage girl. What young 13-year-old girl wants to go to a body shop and clean up? He had sons who could have come to do that. It would have made more sense for him to say, hey, send my 2 sons over here to help me clean up some of this stuff over here at the shop. Not Naziyah. She's a prim and proper little girl, you know, who probably want to be home, hanging with her homegirls, you know, cleaning up. She didn't want to be over there in no shop, getting oil all over her clothes and getting dirty. She came there in order to have sex. And the grandmother, the grandmother, Annette and Shannon knew that shit. And they covered it up, as they covered up many other crimes that went on in that house, because when CPS came to their home to investigate them, they told the children not to tell. Sierra talked about that as well. She was also told not to tell. Shannon knew not to tell because when she was violated by her own father, which was Annette's husband, she and her sisters and all of her other siblings, because they ran away from home, Shannon was also trained not to tell. So now there's another generation of children, including foster children, who's in this house, who've been trained to not talk about what goes on and what they see and experience in this home, because 1, Annette is a foster care parent, and that is how she earns her money. 2, Shannon is on public assistance, and she has 5 children. If she spoke about anything that went on in there, her children will be removed. Her financial assistance will be gone. So the children were made and told not to tell. Those children, I feel, were scared of of Annette, which is the grandmother. And I'm going to play the video again for you guys in terms of how she talked to those kids. She instilled fear into those children to where they were afraid to speak to anyone else about what went on in that house. And Shannon stood by and watched this said behavior and mental, psychological, probably physical abuse anytime these said situations occurred. All right. We talked about the chains on the refrigerators and the kids saying, oh, we like to eat at school. They didn't have a fucking choice because they couldn't get to the food. There were chains on the doors, and they had to come to Annette, who was the one who had the fucking keys, including Shannon, in order to unlock said refrigerators to eat a meal. Oh, child. Let's continue. Now, it is believed that there may have been said threesomes with Jarvis and Naziyah. And I said that because of a text message that Naziyah sent to Jarvis that says when she was in the basement, meaning Naziyah was in the basement, it sounds like Jarvis was already down there. Naziyah says in the text message, if I remember correctly, to go upstairs to give Shannon some, and then come back down here. So Shannon knew that there was an sexual relationship going on there. It's already been known that Shannon was known to touch children. So I feel like she may have maybe touched Naziyah and did some inappropriate shit to her as well, because it's in her nature. It was done to her. And ooh, child. What my likes looking like? What my likes looking like, guys? I got 218 watching. Naziyah, like I said, mentioned in those texts to go upstairs, give Shannon some so that she can leave you alone. So it's given that Naziyah was showing ownership to Jarvis, which then that made him happy about that because he was able to play two girls or women. He looked at Naziyah as a woman, so he was able to play two females against each other, which stroked his ego, and he molded and trained Naziyah to, I guess, worship him and want him in that way, to where she became maybe a little cocky as a child and was telling him, go up there and give Shannon some so she'll leave you alone and then come back down here to me. Like she was showing ownership and claiming him as her own, which I feel like that made Shannon upset. Shannon was fat. Shannon had low self-esteem. Shannon was not that girl. She was someone who was very fertile, who could produce more children, which were victims for Jarvis, because that's what he looked for, women who could have children, women who had children, because he had an appetite for kids. Jarvis preferred Naziyah over Shannon, and she hated it. We saw that, we heard that in this text message. When she started seeing things, she cussed him out. I think she knew about and may have heard about the pregnancy as well from Naziyah, which meant she would have had to compete with Naziyah being pregnant. Maybe if she would have had a baby, walking around with her having a baby, with her having her 5 from Jarvis, maybe she would have felt like she was better than Shannon. You know how people think like that in terms of Shannon. She probably thought, that Naziyah was going to think that she was that, main chick versus her now. And you stayed in the same house. She felt a way about that. So when she heard about Jarvis, sending her, as long as Naziyah was able to go over there and have said relationships, which I feel Shannon knew about it, like I said, it was okay until she found out Naziyah was pregnant. And I feel like she was involved with getting rid of Naziyah and getting rid of that baby as well. I feel like she may know where Naziyah is. She's not going to speak on that because that will also make her be locked up, as well as Annette, which is the grandmother, because it happened on their watch. That's why they did not report that shit until the very next day, 24 hours after Naziyah went missing. They didn't call the police. They didn't tell nobody. They didn't do shit. They didn't go look for her, contrary to what they said, because right down the street from where Naziyah got off the bus, which is not far from their house, for 3 weeks, Naziyah's school ID was laying face down on the grass, and an older woman went by the bus stop and picked it up, and it also had DNA evidence on it, and it was Naziyah. So if you guys combed the neighborhoods and you look for Naziyah, why the fuck did you guys not find her ID? Marinate on that. If y'all went everywhere in the area that y'all lived, because the bus stop, according to what Shannon says, is that she could see the bus stop and she could see Naziyah getting off the bus stop from their house, which says to me it's not that far. So if you can stand on your porch and see Naziyah get off the bus, if you comb the neighborhood and her ID was on the ground, they're saying for probably up to 3 weeks, why is it if y'all combed the neighborhood and walked everywhere, if the last place that she was seen was at the fucking bus stop, why was her ID there for 3 days and no one saw it? A random person who is not even a family member, who wasn't even looking for her, found the ID and turned it in. So Shannon, you a fucking liar when you said you went to look for her. Annette, you are a liar when you said that you looked and looked and looked. No, you didn't. Y'all went home and went to bed, and you guys were at ease. You guys had a good old night's sleep, honey. Y'all weren't thinking about that child. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. A total stranger who's not looking for this child finds something that you can find looking for her had you been looking. Woo! All right, let's continue. When Shannon found out that Naziyah got pregnant by Jarvis, she texted him, like I just showed you guys, to cuss him out and probably threatened to turn him in and to stop seeing Naziyah. And of course, to get rid of said pregnancy, because you're getting ready to fuck up our situation over here. Me and Mama Money about to get fucked up because you done messed up and got this girl pregnant. Jarvis, I can hear her saying that because she cussed him out there. I feel like she had a lot to do with Jarvis getting rid of this baby. He began immediately texting how to get rid of this baby. Red antifreeze. He wanted her to drink red antifreeze. He had a whole lot of things that he texted on there that were inappropriate in order to get rid of this baby. And I feel like Shannon was behind it because she did not want to share her man with yet someone else. She was already sharing him with 20 other women. She knew about those women, and according to her in testimony, she knew about every single pregnancy from every woman that this man has ever laid with, and baby that he created. And I feel like she also knew about Naziyah. If you knew about every baby he created, you knew about Naziyah. And with Naziyah being pregnant and the school finding out that she was pregnant and her going to the doctor and then finding out she was pregnant, they're going to want to know by who? Who is she pregnant by? She's 13. She should not even be having sex at 13. Correct? That leads back to Jarvis. Questions will be asked. Who is Jarvis? What is his connection to Naziyah? He is the father of all 5 of Shannon's children. Well, why would he be sleeping with Naziyah? Then when they dig him up and find out he is a pedo, a registered sex offender, 4-time offender, they're going to want to know, one, he's not even supposed to be around her. Why is he in your home? We don't give a fuck that you have 5 children. That's your choice. The law says that any offender, sex offender, cannot be around children. So to protect your lifestyle and the money you were receiving from the government, you chose not to do so, and to protect your freedom, because you were going to go to jail for having a registered sex offender around you and those foster children. The foster children are the property of the state. You have to go through being sworn in to be a foster parent. I know I have family members who have foster children. Offenders cannot be around foster children. You cannot live in a house with foster children when you have said records. You cannot. You cannot. You can't even foster children if you have said records. If you have DV or anything like that, they will not give you no kids. They are properties of the state. He was not supposed to be nowhere near that fucking house. Nowhere near. Down the street, not far from that, was a school. He was not even supposed to be there. Motherfucker was not even supposed to drive by your house. Nowhere in the vicinity of those children. So at no point in time was he supposed to be around Naziyah. So text messages prove that this man texted you multiple times to send Naziyah. Send your daughter. Send Naziyah. Send your daughter. Send Naziyah. Send your daughter to the shop. You obliged him. You sent them to a predator to be violated multiple times until this girl became pregnant. So now everybody's cleaning up their tracks. Because with Jarvis getting in trouble, it's fucking up everybody's situation. Those children are going to be removed, which means Annette is going to be fucking locked up. No money is coming back in there. You will never, ever in life be able to have foster children again, because that's going to be documented. We don't even know if those children that they have, the foster children, were even touched as well, because they are in the house with a known toucher, which is Shannon. And we might not, the grandmother may be a toucher as well, because we did hear that Jarvis was over there and that she was also locked in a room with Jarvis and was telling other people that she was in there painting a room. Why you can't paint with the door open? Why can't you paint the room with the door open? This whole fucking family, this whole family is fucking crazy. Somebody said, go rail, breathe. I'm breathing, dear. I'm breathing. Why can't you paint with the door open? It's giving that this predatory spirit was transferred from the grandmother to Shannon and anybody else that was there. And those poor children they caught strays by this individual because he had an appetite for children. He didn't want Shannon. Shannon wasn't attractive. She was just another hole. He wanted Shannon because Shannon had access to children. Shannon had access to children. Shannon's mother is a foster parent, which means children are around. So when he met her, because she's been keeping children from what I'm hearing for years. So when he met Shannon years ago, her mother also had foster kids then. because CPS also had to come to their house for another situation. So she's been keeping children for years. So when he met Shannon and he looked around and saw, oh, y'all got kids here. Okay, yeah, this right here gonna work. This gonna work out. And then with Shannon steady, I think they said Shannon was like what, 19 or so when she started having kids with him. Back to back, all her kids back to back. So he was loving that shit. Oh, another victim. Oh yeah, girl, another victim. You pregnant? Oh, good. Another victim. Oh, girl, you pregnant again? Great. He didn't give a fuck about her because they said he treated her horribly. He treated her horribly. He didn't want her. He just wanted them kids. She's very fertile, and he loved that. So when he came around and saw Naziyah, he's known Naziyah since she was 2 years old. Do you not think he touched her before she became 11, 12, 13? Hello? Oh, yeah. If he would mess with a 4-year-old to give her a midia, he definitely touched Naziyah before all of this shit went down. This girl has been groomed since she was 2, 3 years old. Oh, yeah. Think about it. Shannon said on the stand that Jarvis had known Naziyah since she was 2 years old. He didn't start touching her and grooming her when she became 11, 12, 13. Oh, no. He's been messing with her since she was 2, 3 on up. For 10 years. Let's say 10 years. For 10 years, Naziyah, Naziyah has been sexually abused by Jarvis. And probably Shannon. And probably her sister, because I'm sure her sister came over there as well. Yeah. So she's been through hell in that house. She's been through hell since she was 2 years old. And she was placed with her grandmother, who she never should have been with because none of her kids ever stayed. They all ran away because the house was fucked up then. So she was placed with her grandmother because her mother was on drugs and she couldn't get it together. Her mother was in crack houses. Her mother was in the streets. Her brother, who used to live there, ran away because he probably was touched. So why is it that no kids want to stay there? The only kids that are made to stay there are the ones placed by the state. Where the fuck are they going? And if they run away, you better believe the state is going to be on that because that's their property. So those kids are groomed to shut their mouth, and what they see, they ain't never seen it. Because one of the little cousins who came over to play with the children that were there, Jarvis was there and propositioned the little girl to give him dome, and she said no and told her mother. And they went to the police, and the children that were there were groomed to say no, this never happened. CPS never followed up on the case. So once again, he got away with it. And once again, they started clearing their tracks and becoming a little bit smarter in terms of how they deal with things and in terms of how Jarvis comes around. They're like, bitch, you almost got us caught up, nigga. You're not about to be over here doing this shit and get us caught up and fuck up my money. You better be a little bit more careful in how you do things over here, even though you're not supposed to be here. Woof. Cha, cha, cha. Somebody say absolutely disgusting. It is. That's why I got my trigger warning up. I don't want to, I don't want nobody out here having heart palpitations behind this case. All right, let's move on because I have some more stuff I want to share. I've been pulling video after video after video after video. All right. So let's look at the testimony from King, which is Cordell. All right. Let's look at that in terms of what he had to say. Oh, child. Lord have mercy. All right, here we go. Let's let it come up. All right, let's go.
The first time that you talked to Detroit police, do you recall about when that was?
The first time was the day before Valentine's Day, so like February 13th.
February 13th, and is that of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and at that time, were you presented with a jail call?
Yes.
Okay. And who was that jail call with?
Jarvis.
Okay. And who was he talking to?
Me.
All right. And what was the topic of that jail call?
He called to ask would I receive a cell phone out of a truck for him.
And were you familiar with what truck he was asking you to get it from?
Yes.
What truck was that?
It was a Z71 Chevy Suburban.
And did you know who that truck belonged to?
Yeah, his baby mom or somebody he was dealing with.
Okay. And do you recall listening to that jail call?
Yeah, I recall.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all hear that? All right, so the purpose of that video was to show that Jarvis, once he had to turn himself in and get arrested, he remembered that there was a phone left behind that he had some inappropriate conversations with Naziyah. He asked Cordell, which is King, the guy that worked with him at the shop, to go and try to retrieve that phone so that police or nobody else would get their hands on it, which would then also create more charges for him being locked up. Okay, because he's not supposed to have any interaction with children. So when King went to look for said phone, he didn't find it. So I don't know where that phone was. You know, he never found the phone. So he's so stupid because he asked him to go find his phone on a jail call, which we all know that shit is recorded. So on audio, the courts just played him asking for King to go and get this phone to, I guess, hide this phone and keep this phone so that if police come, bitch, you better not let this phone be found. Because he was sending nude pictures, Naziyah was sending nude pictures, inappropriate conversations. Hey, come and meet me at the shop. Da 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 da. Notice they were supposed to delete stuff. I feel like he probably got busy. I don't know. Maybe he was with the next woman when he left Naziyah and he forgot. But bottom line is, I feel like King, who worked at the shop, knew some things, heard some things, and he was covering for his friend because he too is a fucking felon as well. He beat up his girlfriend who was pregnant, which is why his ass was violated and sent the fuck back to jail. Yeah, King, your ass. Dude that worked at the damn shop was locked up for putting hands on a DV situation with his girlfriend who was pregnant at the time that he put his hands on her, and his ass went to jail, and then he was violated for probation because he had another interaction with police. Yeah. Let's continue. All right, so, Lord have mercy. This is a lot. So let's get back to Shannon. I feel that Shannon helped Jarvis with this situation with Naziyah in terms of getting rid of her, because she knew that had she not helped him get rid of this situation, that her man, who she saw was her man, my man, she was on her for my man bullshit. She did what she needed to do to keep her man out of jail because he was already locked up prior for this same offense. And she knew by him being a fourth time convictee, that he probably never see the light of day again. As you guys may know, Shannon is still putting money on Jarvis's books. If you don't know, he has also talked about that as well on a phone call where he was telling, I think it was King, that that she is still putting money on the books. And I don't understand that shit. You looking for your niece who is already said in the news that he unalived and impregnated and abused, and you put money on his books. I don't give a hot damn if you have 467 kids with this nigga. I wouldn't put shit on his books. I wouldn't put a damn thing on his books. And that's on period. She's stupid. Of course, she had to assist him because, like I said, by his cover being blown, so would theirs be blown, because said situation happened on their watch and in their home. All right. Of course, you know that Shannon met Jarvis at 19. They bonded by trauma bonding. Okay, y'all know what trauma bonding is. Trauma bonding is your ass is fucked up and so am I. Let's get together and be trauma bonded together and be toxic together. That's trauma bonding. All right, they both went through similar situations growing up. Jarvis was molested as a child, and so was Shannon by her own father. Named Charles. Let's call names. Charles, you touched your own kids. And their mother, Annette, sat back and let the shit happen. She didn't report it because she didn't work back then. She didn't work. Charles worked. So had she turned Charles in, who gonna pay the bills? So Charles get to stay here and keep molesting and inappropriately touching your children for the sake of you keeping what? A lifestyle. The same thing you're doing right now. The same thing you're doing right now. You're not reporting shit, and you ain't letting nobody report shit because of a lifestyle. You want to get them food stamps, which I'm sure you're getting a lot. Shannon got 5 kids. Oh, she getting a lot of food stamps. You got foster kids, you're getting a lot of food stamps. You're getting government checks. You are living well off the government. And for Jarvis to come over and fuck that up for y'all, you're not going to let that happen, because then that means you got to get a fucking job if you don't go to jail. That's exactly what that means. Yeah. Ooh, let's continue. Why this got me shaking a little bit? When I get to talking about this stuff, y'all, it touches my heart, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine no shit like that. All right. Of course, y'all know Shannon is said to have moved in with her mother because she was evicted from her own place because her ass don't want to work. She don't want to work. She's lazy as fuck. She sit around and have children all day and touch other people that her ass should not be touching. And that's why this situation has occurred. All right. It's believed that she could be touching the kids that are there, which is why CPS needs to look into that situation. CPS definitely needs to look into the situation to see if the foster kids that are there in the house have been touched in a situation at any point in time. But I feel like the children should not be questioned at the home. They should be picked up and taken to the CPS office to where they are comfortable. They're not coerced. They're not looked at in a certain way or threatened to not tell the truth, that they can be as transparent as they can be, because children are very detailed if you ask them the right questions in the right way. It doesn't matter how young they are. If they're very chatty children, they will tell you. Okay. And they know how to investigate and or ask these children in ways to get what they need out of them. In terms of, did someone touch you? Did someone do this to you? Did this happen to you? Did that happen to you? They're able to vocalize that, even though they may not understand that it's wrong. They can still tell you that, oh yeah, she did touch me right here, which then will open a case for sexual assault and or abuse on these children. Okay. And that will stop that cycle. So it's sad that these children are being made by the state to be in an abusive situation and get money being paid to their abuser, because that's what it is. Annette, who is also an abuser, is allowed to be paid to have the children in her home, which is an unsafe environment, and to be paid for children to be assaulted. The system is fucked up. And that is why there is a petition out there right now for Naziyah and for this situation, and for CPS to have stronger and better laws to protect children. If you're going to take them from a fucked up environment, why are you putting them in another one? There's a reason why those children who are placed with Annette, which is the grandmother, there's a reason why those children were taken from their environment, because something fucked up happened. So why remove them from a fucked up situation to a worse fucked up situation? And those children cannot vocalize what is going on. They can't run away. They're small. Some of those children are small. I saw some of the pictures when she went to the grocery store and the children were with her rather. Those kids are kind of small. They probably younger than 8. Some of them look like they're younger than 8, maybe 9. So they're at that stage to where they can be groomed now. If you have someone like a pedo coming around, they're at the age where they can be groomed. 8, 9 years old. Oh yeah. They can be groomed into doing things that they should not be doing by an abuser. And they're made to be there by the state. And even when they want to speak out and talk, they can't do that because they're afraid. All right. So I'm going to play for you guys why the children would be afraid to speak out. I want to play a video. Let me play a video of how Annette talks to these children, and this is why I said they're afraid. This is how Annette talks to the children, okay? And she says every morning they get up for prayer, and so she tries to act like she's this, holier than thou individual, honey. She just loved the Lord, honey. She said, in the name of Jesus, I want my kids to come home. That's what she said at the press conference. But listen to how she talks to these children. This is probably why they're afraid to tell what's happening. Okay. Let's see. I gotta share the other way. Shit. Y'all bear with me. All right, hold on. Ooh, I got a bunch of videos. Give me a second, y'all. I know I got it. I got it there. We're gonna figure out how to get it here. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's there. All right, let's try to put it there. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. All right, so this is it. I want you guys to pay very close attention to the grandmother and how she speaks to these children before they go to school. Their spirit is already broken before they walk out the door because they cussed out by grandma. She's yelling at these kids, cussing them out. But this is a God-fearing woman who they said is seen in the church, honey. She's on the hallelujah part she's on the hallelujah stuff in church. But listen to how she talks to these children.
Everybody, good morning.
Hey,
Get these kids out the way to go.
Take this shade up. Right here. One of these stupid ass kids did that. Why y'all got this road fucked up in front of the door? I know y'all seen it. Here, put your socks on. Y'all saw the rug fucked up. So what's going on with your coat? You don't know how to zip up your coat? Where your motherfucking coat at?
Right. Get these coats. No.
Come here. It's up under that shirt. It's up under that sweatshirt. Is you keeping that in school all day today? They didn't let you keep that on? Let me see it. This is thin as hell. You can't focus on it now. Boy, you pretty ready to get slapped. It's cold as hell outside. You, wear your coat.
Then look at pictures.
If you don't take that hoodie off and put that motherfucking coat on, I don't give a fuck whether you can fit it or not. You're not walking out of here without a coat on.
Let's go. You need a
And that
coat.
coat that you wearing ain't yours nowhere. That's the one that was too, Ariel broke the zipper on. That's her. Why are you wearing a too small coat? Because she couldn't find her, so she went up there and put that beige. Remember that beige coat that both of them got during Christmas time? Ariel broke the zipper on hers. I never had it fixed. She the one that ran upstairs 2 days ago and put it on, which was okay. But of course you can't fit it. It ain't your coat.
But it's tough for everybody. You're ready to say prayer. You too.
Her.
And you.
Y'all hear that? Now it's time for everybody to say prayer. So how are you gonna say prayer after you done yelled at these kids? These kids are probably scared. She said, and it looked like she might have grabbed somebody like kind of rough. I don't give a fuck if you can fit that coat or not. She's on that. This is God-fearing hallelujah Annette over there, child. Talking to the kids like that. Now, pay attention to how she talks when she does her testimony. Okay.
You indicated that you were close. I'm sorry, you were close with Naziyah?
Yes.
Do you think of any reason that Naziyah would not share information with you?
No. Naziyah would come to me and talk to me all the time.
Okay.
If something was bothering her or if she had a bad day in school, she'll come to me and we'll sit and talk about it. I always kept the door open for communication with Naziyah and with really all of my children. So she always felt free, to come.
Bitch, are you fucking crazy? How you kept the door open for her to come and talk to you? Do you guys feel that if Naziyah would have went to sit down with her grandmother and say, Grandma, I'm pregnant. I just want to tell you I'm pregnant. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Do you not think that she would have cussed that child out and that she would have went off on her like she just went off on them kids and then gonna turn around and say, let's pray before y'all go to school. It's time for the prayer. She just sat up there. Her whole demeanor was different on the stand. Yes, I feel like she would come to me. Naziyah would come and talk to me about anything. But in the video, I don't give a motherfucking. That's her in the video. Two different people. This is some crazy. Did y'all see that? The way she talked to those kids. I don't give a fuck if you can fit that coat or not. Put that coat on. That's how she was talking to them. Oh, yes, Naziyah would come and talk to me about anything at any time. That's her on the stand, though. Crazy as hell. Evil as hell. Do you think them kids was going to come and talk and tell anything? CPS coming there to question those kids about somebody touching them inappropriately. They done saw this side of this woman right here. They ain't telling shit. Because they scared. I'm playing one more time.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Hey,
These kids out there to go.
Let the shade up. Right here. One of these stupid ass kids did that. Why y'all got this world fucked up?
One of these stupid ass kids did that. Did y'all hear that? That's her talking about the kids.
In front of the door. I know y'all seen it.
Oh my goodness.
Here, put your socks on. Y'all saw the rug fucked up. So what's going on with your coat? You don't know how to zip up your coat? Where your motherfucking coat at?
Right. Get these coats.
They act like it's a 98 degrees outside.
No.
Come here. It's up under that shirt. It's up under that sweatshirt. Is you keeping that in school all day today? They been listening. Keep that on. Okay. Let me see it. Let me see this thing is here. Go get your coat. Morning. You pretty ready to get slapped. It's cold as hell outside. You, wear your coat.
then look at pictures.
If you don't take that hoodie off and put that motherfucking coat on, I don't give a fuck whether you can fit it or not. You're not walking out of here without a coat on.
Let's go. You need a
And that
coat.
coat that you wearing ain't yours nowhere. That's the one that was too Ariel broke the zipper on. That's her. Why are you wearing a too small coat? Because she couldn't find her, so she went up there and put that beige. Remember that beige coat that both of them got during Christmas time? Ariel broke.
Who is the other person talking? Somebody said, why are you wearing a too small coat? Don't nobody know other adults live in their house except the grandmother, Annette, and Shannon. So who is this third person talking and asking the children, why are you wearing a too small coat? I don't understand that. This is early in the morning, so whoever it is, they must have spent the night.
The zip on hers, I never had it fixed. She the one that ran upstairs 2 days ago and put it on, which was okay. But of course you can't fit it. It ain't your coat.
Well, it's tough for everybody. You're ready to say prayers. You too.
Her.
And you indicated that you were close. I'm sorry, you were close with Naziyah.
Yes.
Can you think of any reason that Naziyah would not share information with you?
No. Naziyah would come to me and talk to me all the time.
Okay.
If something was bothering her or if she had a bad day in school, she'll come to me and we'll sit and talk about it. I always kept the door open for communication with Naziyah and with really all of my children. So she always felt free, to come to me and sit down and talk to me about whatever.
So if
Jarvis did,
So
that was him, not on me at all.
So that's Shannon talking about Jarvis when she met him and she found out that he was a pedo.
At all. And yes, that might be my child's father. Yes, I do got 5 kids. Yes, my youngest is 1. Damn sure not desperate.
Apparently, this man has had a history.
Child. Y'all see how crazy grandma is, but you say, oh yes, I'll always keep the lines of communication open. Why you didn't do that with your own kids that all ran away from you? All of a sudden now you mother of the year. Why you didn't do that with your own damn kids who all ran away from you, from your house, girl? And your other oldest daughter wound up on drugs from all the shit she went through in your house. But you keep the lines of communication open to all of your kids, including Naziyah? I doubt it. Naziyah was probably scared as fuck to come and tell you she was pregnant. You know how I know? She didn't ask her grandmama to get her no plan B. She didn't ask no grandmama to help her get rid of that baby. She came to the abuser to ask. That's exactly who she asked. She didn't ask no grandma. She ain't told grandma she was pregnant. She told Jarvis, how we gonna get rid of this damn baby? She didn't come to Shannon. She went to Jarvis. She was scared as fuck to come to grandma. She wasn't about to tell grandma none of that. because grandma was not going to be understanding. Grandma was going to yell at her, probably put hands on her. She was scared of grandma. If grandma talked like that, oh yeah, grandma she's rough rider. Grandma is a rough rider, honey. She got the R on her chest, baby. Grandma is a rough rider. Naziyah won't come into you, baby. She won't about to sit and talk to you. Hell, she won't hardly there. She was in the fucking basement from most of the pictures I saw. She was ostracized and mostly by herself. She was away downstairs doing fucking videos for TikTok. And she stayed on social media. When they didn't take her tablet, she was on social media. There's so many videos out there showing her doing a little TikTok dances, and that's all you saw, her on TikTok doing this shit here. She's on videos. That's all she does. They didn't spend time with her. I saw a video where Shannon was interacting with her oldest daughter, and Naziyah came up and was trying to interact and trying to get in the camera, and Shannon was moving the camera like, girl, move. They didn't fuck with her like that. So I don't know why they said, oh, she could have come to me. Oh, no. She could not have come to you. Shannon was jealous of her. Shannon didn't want to fool with her. The way Shannon was acting in that video with her daughter when Naziyah walked up and was trying to ask her a question, she didn't fool with her. Like, girl, you sleep with one man, bye. Don't come over here with that bullshit. Come over here with bullshit. Didn't fool with her. That girl stayed in the basement doing videos. In the basement doing videos. She won't sit down talking to grandma. She won't have a conversation. So let me tell you how my day went, grandma, at school. Grandma, I don't give a fuck. That's the attitude she gives. That's the attitude she gives. I'm pretty sure she was getting money as well for Naziyah, which I'm pretty sure she don't get it no more now that Naziyah ain't here. I'm pretty sure she was getting a check for Naziyah too. She was getting money for Naziyah. She was. She absolutely was. As long as she was getting that money, she didn't give a damn about no damn Naziyah. Naziyah, Mariah, or nobody damn else. As long as she was getting that check. All right. Lord, this is a lot. Let's skip ahead because I talked about that. All right, let's look at some more videos because I pulled a bunch of stuff so that you guys can kind of see what's going on. What is that? Okay, we saw that. We saw that. All right, I want to play her. I want to play this video of the grandma too. That was important too. I want to play that too. Is that it? Yeah. I want to play that. So yeah, let's watch that because that's real informative as well. So this is the pre-trial hearing for Jarvis Butts in the missing case of Naziyah Harris. The grandmother is testifying. Okay, so pay very close attention to what the grandma has to say. I don't know why my dog barking.
This way.
My husband got it.
Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? If you need to stand up, then look around.
Why is she looking at the jury, y'all? At the jury stand.
Do you need glasses? Ma'am?
Yeah, my daughter has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to get your glasses?
Yes.
May I approach witness?
Yes. Thank you.
The only inmate sitting over there, and she don't see him. Okay, girl.
You can just stand up and take another look around.
Okay.
Look right at him.
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Blue uniform with the blue mask.
For the record, the witness has identified Jarvis Butts, the defendant in this matter. And may I approach the witness again, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's already been admitted as People's 9.
Can y'all hear it?
And Miss Harris, do you recognize the person in that photo?
Yes,
And who is that person?
Jarvis Butts.
And is that the same person you've identified in court here today?
Yes.
And Ms. Harris, how did you know Mr. Butts back in January of 2024?
He's the father of my daughter's children.
And is that daughter Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. How many kids do they have together?
5.
And would he come around your house on Bedford in January or the months leading up to January?
Whenever he did come, he would always pull up in a white truck, and Shannon would go out to the car and they would sit and talk or whatever, but he would very rarely come in my house.
And during that time when he would come around and sit in his car, was there any times that he would interact with Naziyah that you saw?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay.
She just got caught in a lie right there. First of all, number one, like we said, Jarvis wasn't supposed to be over there at all. So you said if and when he came to my house, he pulled in my driveway and would sit outside. But he would never. But see, she gave more information than they asked. That's why the judge looked at her when she said he very rarely came into my house. He wasn't supposed to come in there at all because he's a pedo, a registered offender. Okay, so you just told on yourself. You gave more information than you were supposed to give. All right. And then to say, did he have any interaction with Naziyah? Not that I can remember. Shannon already asked you, Grandma, can Naziyah come with her daughter to the shop with Jarvis? And you were the person that gave permission each time for Naziyah to go to the shop. So how is it that you don't remember interaction with Naziyah and Jarvis when you gave permission for her to go clean? We already know clean is the code word for be violated, okay?
Now I want to talk specifically about January 9th. You had described your morning routine with the kids. Did you follow that routine on January 9th?
Yes, I did.
And did that include dropping Naziyah off at 7:30?
Yes.
And can you tell us what she was wearing on January 9th, 2024?
Yes, she was wearing a pair of light powdered blue jeans with a light powdered blue jacket that had the black little fur around the collar. It was like a 2-piece set.
And did she have a sweater on or a shirt on or something?
She had a shirt. She wore a shirt underneath it.
And you remember, did she have any other clothes with her on the 9th when you dropped her off?
She had her little blue sweatshirt with the little hoodie. She had that with her.
And do you know how or when she got that hoodie?
I bought that hoodie for her. I guess it was in the fall sometime when I bought it. I mean, it wasn't nothing new. It was just one of her old hoodie jackets she used when she go to the gym.
Okay. And in terms of, if you know, the condition of that hoodie on the 9th, was it torn, ripped, damaged in any way?
No,
Okay.
it was fairly, really, kind of like still new because she took pretty good care of her things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so y'all see that? All right, let's stop sharing. So you already admitted that he's been coming to the house and he came in your house. He had access to Naziyah by coming in the house. He wasn't supposed to be there, around there, nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. There are other children there, and also the property of the state, which are the foster kids, are also in that house. So you not only subjected Naziyah to a known pedo, but you also subjected their property, which is the state's property, those children, those foster children, to Jarvis, who is a known pedo offender. Okay? They're going to drag their asses when they come to court. I just guarantee you. They're going to drag their asses. You see how much the judge writing down over there? Y'all see how much the judge was writing over there? Oh, she got their asses. All right, so let me pull up. They're going to drag their asses. I think they're going to be charged too, because they ain't nowhere in the fuck y'all. Child, ain't no way. Ain't no way. All right. Okay, now let me play this video here earlier this week. Let me see. What was this one?
Abuse began based on the evidence that we have.
All right, so we got to play this. Now, this is Prosecutor Kim Worthy discussing how far along she thought Naziyah would have been in her pregnancy prior to her death. And it's saying that the chief confirms that he would have preferred to have the case sooner. So we're just going to look at some testimonies from the prosecutor about Naziyah. Here we go.
Sexual abuse began based on the evidence that we have in 2022. Or at least the grooming began in 2022.
That they know of.
Are you able to say how far along she was on her pregnancy?
We don't know because we don't have a body.
I have a question for Chief White just about missing children sort of broadly. When these types of cases happen, obviously we get the reports all the time of missing children. Can you talk about what you think didn't work in this case? You know, in terms of like maybe the seriousness that was considered when she first went missing, it was because of the DPSD CD versus when it got to you guys?
I would much rather have had the case earlier. I don't know if the outcome would have been any different based on some of the things we've learned in the course of the investigation, but we may have had an opportunity to recover even more evidence. But we're pretty confident that the evidence that we have is strong. We know it is, in fact. But you can never have enough evidence. So if there's anything that could have gone a little bit better with regards to the first time that we were brought in, I would have wanted to be brought in much earlier. For that reason.
Just some background on Jarvis Butts. What's his age and is he from Detroit?
He's 41 years old. From Highland Park, I believe.
Yeah.
And Chief, as soon as you guys got word of this, you guys were out immediately, right? I think you were even out searching. You guys set up a command post.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we took over the case after we were briefed. We took charge of the case, and our teams got engaged in it immediately and hit the ground running and didn't look back.
That's him. That's Jarvis Butts on my screen. All right, let's stop sharing that. Whoo, child. All right, so we got more. I pulled some more video just so we can see some updated stuff. This is a family member that have come forward to give some information as well, okay? This is a family member of Naziyah who came forward to talk about this situation and their experience and what they know as well.
I am, dang, I can't turn it off. I am another cousin of the family.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody is on here trying to come for Kenya saying that she didn't report it. We need to make it very clear. We are the extended family. We all know how that goes. Okay, your main family is, you know, the mama, the sister, the brother, the cousin. We are the extended family. Okay, Kenya doesn't have a problem saying anything and putting it on Facebook way back in September when she did. Now that Facebook has also took down her post because they reported it to take it down. The information was bought to Kenya because the person who bought the information to Kenya didn't have the balls enough to say anything, but Kenya did have the balls enough to say anything. Kenya put it on Facebook to expose it to everybody, but it was reported to CPS, to DPS 4 years, i.e. the caption that you put up saying 40 years of CPS. This has been going on, and that's how long they've been hiding this shit. So it has been reported to CPS. It has been reported to DPS by several people that it has happened to in the family and who knows about it. But she hid the shit so well that we wouldn't even have known. It's several people that's been around them, and like the daddy said, she presented herself to be a God-fearing woman to where you wouldn't have known any fucking thing.
You know why this resonates with me, and I'm just gonna touch on my situation just so we can relate. And I'm not trying to make it about me in no way, form, or fashion. But you know, I just had a newborn son, to whom with a woman who I just found out has 10+ CPS investigations.
Right.
So why the fuck am I struggling so hard to get my motherfucking son and shit? You know what I mean? So, you know, everybody's and how come Kenya didn't say nothing? Kenya put it up on Facebook. She put his information on there that he was a sexual pedophile, registered active pedophile.
She put on there when he got arrested that he got Shannon pregnant, that she got 5 kids by right now as we speak. And all of that. It has been reported. But when we around, the extended family is around, she covers that shit up. You would never think it. So it's been reported. It was reported by
people to create a whole nother person and present like the people got it's beyond a mask. People have a whole bodysuit.
Right, but this is the thing. The person that's coming to Kenya about it is the one that needs to speak up, because Kenya has been the one that's getting the backlash behind it. But the person that's bringing it to her, Kenya is only, she looks like she's the face of it, but she's really not. She's just bold enough to speak on it.
She's just the whistleblower. She's the whistleblower.
Right. So pretty much, the messenger, and she's getting the backlash of it. But the person that's bringing the information to her is the one who should really, come out and say something. And they're probably not going to. And no shade.
Okay, so that is a family member who also spoke on this situation as well. That's Kenya's been fighting hard in this situation to make awareness. She moved from, I think, Texas to Detroit in order to become a voice, to be very vocal about what's going on in this case with Naziyah. So shout out to her for that. She's been speaking. She's done a balloon release. She started a GoFundMe. She started a lot of things in order to honor Naziyah and get the word out there in terms of what's going on with her, to help look for her, to make sure that this story continues to be talked about, so that it's not swept under the rug like so many other cases with missing girls. So shout out to Kenya for that. Like, I mean, not Kenya, but Roxy for that, because she has done that. Like, shout out to her for that. She has really stepped up, and she's done way more than the immediate family has done. She's done more than the grandmother's done. I mean, I told y'all the grandmother didn't even want to do the damn press conference. And she decided at the last minute, then got up there all that fake crying and stuff. But yeah, so shout out to her for speaking up on that. I'm trying to make sure I ain't got no more. I'm trying to show all the videos that I've pulled so that you guys can see what is really going on. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the detective talking about the actual hotel room that Jarvis Butts actually rented on the day that Naziyah was missing. Okay, so we're gonna watch this. We're almost done, you guys.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Ripley.
Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Good morning, Detective Lisa Johnson,
How are you employed?
Detroit Police Department,
And how long have you been employed by Detroit Police Department?
26 years.
And are you assigned to a specific unit or division?
Right now, homicide cold case.
Detective Johnson, can you pull that microphone down so that everyone can hear? Thank you.
And were you working back in February of 2024 in homicide cold case?
Yes.
And did you get the chance to assist in the investigation of, at that time, missing Naziyah Harris?
I did.
Okay. And I want to take you to the location of 20,000 Harbor. You're assisting in the investigation, take you to that location?
Yes.
And what is that location?
Park Crest Hotel.
And do you recall when about you went there?
Sometime in February.
Okay, and it's in 2004?
Yeah.
2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went there, what is it that you did?
We spoke to the clerk that was on duty at the time, and we requested the ledger for January.
And did you receive anything from the ledger from January?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and what is it that you received?
There was a sign-in sheet filled out by Mr. Butts.
Okay, and did you take a copy of that sign-in sheet?
Yes.
Okay, and Your Honor, may I approach People's Proposed Exhibit 19?
Yes.
Handing you what's marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 19. Can you tell me, you recognize what it is I just handed you?
Yes,
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the receipt that you received from the Park Crest Inn as it relates to Mr. Butts?
yes it is.
And I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 19. No objection.
Okay, it'll be admitted as People's 19.
Thank you, Judge. And looking at that receipt, who is it that checked out a room?
Jarvis R. Butts.
And is there a address associated with that?
Yes, there is.
And without reading the numbers of the address, what street is that on?
Wilshire Drive.
And is there a phone number associated with that person?
Yes, it is.
And what's that phone number?
313-585-8719.
Okay. And what is the day that this hotel room was checked out?
January 9th, 2024.
Okay. And is there a room number that was checked out?
Yes, room 69.
Okay. And is there a time that it was checked out?
Checked out at 12:30 p.m.
Did you do anything with this receipt once you received it?
Yes, we got the receipt and we forwarded it to Sergeant Jones.
And was this physical receipt itself placed on evidence?
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, cross.
Detective Johnson, you said that when you went to the Park Crest Motel, you spoke with the clerk.
Yes.
Was that clerk the clerk that was there themselves on the night?
I don't believe so. We spoke with the clerk who forwarded us to the manager. We waited on the manager to come in. He brought the receipt out.
Did either the clerk or the manager that you spoke with indicated that they had any recollection of seeing Mr. Butts on the night?
No.
Okay. Did you spoke with anybody at the Park Crest Motel who did seem to indicate that they had familiarity with Mr. Butts?
Not for that particular night. A few people said they may have seen him prior, but not for sure.
Did you get the impression that he's kind of a frequent flyer there?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. Did you notice when you were there if there were any cameras in the parking lot or around the door?
Yes, there's cameras.
There's cameras. Where are they located?
I can't be specific right now. I know there is cameras in the lobby and there are some outside on the perimeter.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any redirect?
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you guys see the picture of Naziyah. That's her in the glasses that was found in one of Jarvis's baby mama's cars that her son was playing with, that they also took into evidence. So it's believed that he may have been driving his baby mama's car because he did have a history of getting his baby mama's cars, because they said he didn't have one of his own, which is weird. You fix cars, you have an auto body shop, but you don't have a car. So he had multiple women that he dealt with, but he would just use their cars to do whatever he needed to do. And there was some damage done to said baby mama's car, where it was said that Naziyah was put into that car and he left some things behind. So I hope she's fully cooperating with police. That's the one that was sitting on the stand with the short hair, who was acting like she had like a little attitude when they were asking her questions, like she really didn't want to be there and testify of what she knew after hearing why she was actually testifying, which was for the missing girl Naziyah, who's 13 and pregnant and possibly unalived by Jarvis Butts, which is supposed to be her baby daddy, because I think she said she had a son by him. So it's unfortunate. I'm happy that they're closing in. So they're saying here in this particular video that we just saw that Detective Lisa Johnson and them did have video evidence and surveillance footage of Jarvis at this hotel. Okay, so that means he may have taken her there and tried to do this said AB on her, and something probably went wrong. Okay, but it's known that it is said that she was there and that he was also there as well. So I don't know. It's amazing to me how people who are supposed to be her family members sit on the stand, and y'all didn't cry not one time. Y'all didn't break down at just the thought of this girl being gone and her being unalived and things happening to her. Like, it's crazy to me. The grandmother sat there emotionless, like no tears, no nothing. Her daughter got up there as well, and Shannon got up there as well. No emotions, just like it was just another day. Like they were just talking about, not one. It's crazy. It's crazy how they just did not have not one single tear about this girl being missing, who's supposed to be their family member, who you helped raise since 2 years old. Like, that's literally your baby. Grandmothers are supposed to be like a second mom. So it's weird to me how they didn't have that, that love like a grandmother would have for this girl. And that's all she wanted, was to be loved. And she, when she, Jarvis started messing with her, she saw that as love, when that was really abuse. And that's so sad. That's so sad that nobody protected this girl. She was not protected, but she was in a home where really nobody was protected, because the grandmother was abused. Shannon was abused. Her sister was abused. The husband that the grandmother married was abused. Like, everywhere she turned was abuse. Like, oh my God. This is a sad, sad situation. Okay. It's like the whole damn house got Stockholm syndrome, and it's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. I'm trying to make sure I gave y'all all the information. Oh, Lord, that spirit of pedophilia, Lord. It just, it's so sad. It's so sad when I think about this situation with this girl. Like, Lord. Did I see it? Let me see. This is his sister.
Revealed more disturbing text messages between Naziyah Harris and Jarvis Butts, where you can see just how much she cared for him and how little.
I want to play how much emotion or how the aunt, let's remove that one. Not the aunt, but Jarvis's sister. Like I said, she was the only one that literally broke down crying on the stand, and none of her families even cried. This is weird. I pulled some videos. Let's see.
The one you saw. Maybe that was Naziyah Harris. That was pretty close in time to the police interview.
Maybe about a week or so before.
Okay. I believe, does it sound right to you that I think you told the police that it was on the Thursday prior to the interview?
Whatever the Thursday was after Valentine's Day.
Okay. So probably February 22nd. That was the Thursday prior to your interview.
Okay.
And then when you were at the shop, you primarily saw this child while she was inside a truck, right?
I didn't know it was a child in the truck until she kept getting out.
Okay, but when you saw her, she was in a truck?
I saw her getting out the truck, yes.
And were you inside your vehicle?
Yes.
You arrived in the daylight, right?
Yes.
And that's, I think, what you're referring to, right? Initially, that's when you didn't yet know somebody was in the truck.
Can you say that again?
So at the beginning, when you first got there, right, you didn't know right away that somebody was in the truck?
No, I didn't.
Y'all see that? So she actually saw Naziyah. She was one of the last people that saw Naziyah getting in and out of that truck, that white Escalade, which was said to be one of his baby mama's cars that particular day, because she was there to get her own car fixed. So she saw that. Okay, I would have called the police right then, but I get it. She said that's her brother and all that. She's probably trying to spare him because she knew he wasn't supposed to be around kids. But you knew about the prior charges that he had with children, and you knew that a 4-year-old was involved and an 8-year-old that he violated. So seeing this child getting in and out of the car should have sparked something in her, not to judge her like that, because she did cooperate. She did, according to the stuff that I saw, she did tell the truth. But I feel like in that moment, you probably should call police. Call the police, say, hey, y'all may want to come check this out. Ask the little girl, what are you doing here? Where's your mother? Something like that. You raised Jarvis. You already know, first of all, he had his own child at 13 years old by a grown woman. So you know this boy inside and out because you raised him. You know. So to say that she kept seeing her getting in and out of the car, what would she be doing at the shop anyway? She should have been home. What was she doing at a shop with 2 grown men? Like, that would have been a red flag, knowing that that's your brother who is a 4-time pedo riding around with a young girl. You should have called the police. Forget that's your brother. I mean, because look at the situation he's in now. You're sitting on the stand now anyway, because the little girl ain't here no more. She probably could have saved her life had she called the police that day to say, hey, it's a 13-year-old girl, like she's about 13 years old over here in my brother's shop. Can y'all come and check this out? You know not to ask him because he's going to lie. So that could have saved Naziyah's life to say, hey, let me call the police and let them check this out because I know my brother. You know, I know my brother. But so many people sat back on information that where this girl was being abused and didn't say anything because you're trying to protect this person because of the relationship that you felt you had with him. Shannon wasn't going to call because that's her baby daddy of 5. And Annette was not going to call because that's her daughter's boyfriend. So it's like everybody had this connection to this perv who sat back and watched this girl be constantly abused and didn't say anything, didn't do anything. And now that she's not here, it's like all y'all ass is probably going to be going to jail behind this because he wasn't supposed to be around this child. You did not report it. And you knew who he was and what he was capable of. I blame the system. I blame the family. I blame everybody that was involved that was around this little girl who allowed this person to be around her, knowing what he was capable of doing. He's a fucking monster. He needs to be under the jail. Grandma need to be in jail. Shannon need to be in jail. And anybody else that was over there and saw that need to be in jail. Period. Period. I'm just saying. Let's get her down on my screen, child. I'm just saying, everybody involved. We're going to go ahead and end this video here because we are almost 2 hours in, and I don't like to go too long with these videos, but I appreciate you all stopping by. Thank you to my mods, Bill Wilson, KBR, Tyra, and Scorpion Miss for coming by and modding for me, keeping the trolling down. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the content creators that may have stopped by. True TV Podcast, Purple Unicorn, Aries Girl Podcast, Deary Talk Show, Meso ATL, Boss Lady Brain, Girlfriend Chronicles, Chronicles of Kim K, and Love Seen Heard. I appreciate you all for stopping by, as well as my Caramelians. I love you guys down as well. Thank you guys for supporting this video. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed all the information that we were able to pull. Let me take this banner down. Trigger warning because we're done talking. But thank you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, okay? And keep your notifications on so that you'll be privy to any more content that we put out, okay? Now, unless anything else pops out, which I'm pretty sure it will, then you guys will see me again, okay? But in the meantime, in between time, you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys later, okay? Bye.